Okay, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a Board of Health meeting. It's June 1st. And I'm going to do some introductions. My name's Caroline Kinsella. I am the health director. I'm going to go around to my staff and then the board members. Carolyn,
Hello, Assistant Health Director.
Assistant Health Director, and Jean,
Peterson, Clerk.
and Laura,
Laura Richards, Chair.
and Deborah,
Milbauer, Board of Health member.
and Mary Stenson, our other Board of Health member, couldn't make it tonight, so Deborah Milbauer and Laura Richards will be voting. And I see Town Council, Alex. He's here.
Yes, good evening. Alex Whiteside from KP Law.
Thank you for coming, Alex. And David Clennert, are you representing Collins Engineering?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So number 2 on our agenda tonight is Citizen Speak. Is there anyone for Citizen Speak tonight? No, seeing no one for Citizen Speak. We'll move along to number 3. Approval of the minutes from April 13th, April 30th, and May 6th. And tonight I'm going to table the minutes because our third member of the board, Mary Stenson, was unable to make the meeting. So tabling those minute approvals until our next meeting. So moving on to number 4 is 621 Harlan Street. It's a local upgrade approval. This is the request, the local upgrade approval from section 310 CMR 15.212 of the State Sanitary Code, which requires a minimum of 4 feet of vertical separation between seasonal high groundwater in the bottom of the soil absorption system with a percolation rate of greater than 2 minutes per inch. The applicant requests approval to allow reduction from the 4 feet to 3 feet. That's the first request. Request number 2 is a variance in accordance with DEP policy number BRP /DWM/PEP-P00-1 to allow the percolation rate to be established using the grain size sieve analysis distribution. These variances are requested by the applicant, Stephen Hennessy. And the board is to discuss and vote to approve. And I just wanted to say that Paul Brogna, who's our septic consultant, would like the board to approve the plan on the condition of approval, which includes there will be no increase in flow. So it's just 3 bedrooms. And that the as-built plan include the finished grades over the soil absorption system. So I'm going to ask Mr. David Clennert to, let me see if I can, do you have the plans in front of you? So
Yes, I do. If you can share the screen.
Share the screen? Yep.
You just let me know when, and I'll.
I'm sharing my screen. Can you help me, Carolyn?
I see your screen, Caroline. I think you just have to.
I'm trying to allow David to share his screen.
Okay, 1 second.
Go up here.
Do you want me to pull up the plan, the septic plans, Caroline?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
That'd be good. Yep.
Caroline, can you stop sharing your screen?
Yep. Try. Yep. I'll stop sharing my screen. Are you able to see it, Carolyn?
Sorry, I'm trying to get into the health drives. I just had to log into the where did yeah, it's not working.
I think I gave you permission, David, to share your screen if you have it on your sheet.
Okay, let's see if this
See if you
works.
can see if that works.
Yeah, it doesn't want me to. Okay, okay, I think I have it here.
Perfect. Can everyone see the screen?
Mhm.
Would you like to explain a little bit to the board about the two requests?
David, I think you're muted.
Oh, yes, you are. Yeah.
David, if you're talking, we can't
Okay.
hear you. There we go.
There we
I
go.
think I just did it. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I was on the shared area. I was muted. So, okay, so what? This is a failed system. We have two pits in the back. There's a pit right here, and there's a pit up here. They'll be decommissioned and they'll be filled and pumped.
Sorry, David, I apologize. When you say up here and over here, we can't see where you mean. So
Can you
maybe if
see
you
this?
could,
Can you see this? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on this screen. I'm pointing to my screen on the right. I'm sorry. All right, that's my bad. So let me just zoom up here a little bit, if I can.
Thank
Okay, so there's a pit here, and there's a pit here. They will be decommissioned in place.
sorry,
Uh,
I'm sorry. We don't see your cursor. I think that's what I meant to say.
Can you see the
Like,
cursor?
I don't see it. Do you guys see it?
No, I don't see it.
So if you could just maybe describe where you're referring to.
All right, yeah. I can see the cursive. I'm sorry that you can't see it. I don't know why it's not showing up. So the existing pits are in the back of the house. They're between the house and where we're going to place our system. Those pits we won't interfere with. They'll be abandoned in place, pumped and filled with sand. The existing tank you can see behind the house, we're going to replace that tank with a 1,500 gallon two compartment tank. We'll have this system going out to the back of the property along a rather steep hill. If I zoom up on that steep hill, if you can see that, let me see if I can zoom up a little bit. It doesn't want me to zoom up, but there's a hill back there with some trees in front of the system, and there's some trees in the back of the system. The reason why we're asking for a 4-2-3 is to keep the grading from those trees in front. We will be losing some trees to the side and to the rear of the system. If we can keep the system 3 feet above, we don't have to grade into those trees that are in front of the system. You'll notice that the pits are in the front, on the edge of the leaching field. As the leaching field goes down the hill, the back of the leaching field will certainly be over 4 feet above the water table. It's just asking for a waiver for the front to try to save some of those trees and, of course, save some of the construction cost in bringing in more fill. The second variance was for the sieve analysis. The soil is very damp out there, and we had a lab in Easton do the sieve analysis for the design rate.
Board, do you have any questions?
I don't have any.
I don't either. I'm deferring to our expert who's advising us. Thank you for that description. It was very helpful, though. I appreciate that you're trying not to cut the trees down.
Why don't I move to approve these variances and plan, but as long as there'll be no increase in the flow, and that the as-built plan include the finished grades over the soil absorption system. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, moving on to number 5. Is a public hearing requested by Girth Pierre regarding 4 Craig Street. Emergency condemnation order was issued on May 19th, 2026. It's been determined this building is unfit for human habitation in accordance with MGL laws C-111 and 127B and 105 CMR 410. Discussion and potential ratification of emergency condemnation order. Discussion and vote by the Board of Health. And I have some background information about this property. When our last correction order went out on May 19th, Ms. Gertha Pierre asked us if she could come to the hearing, and she's allowed to do that, request a hearing. And she submitted a written request to the Milton Health Department to come to this hearing tonight. So I just want to go back a little bit on our timeline of 4 Craig Street. So initially in 2024, we received an anonymous call about rodent activity. At that time, my staff went out, but they didn't see anything from the public view of the street. Then fast forward to January 6, 2026, the health department got an anonymous complaint about a car flipped on its side in the backyard of 4 Craig Street. They went out at that time and they took some pictures. The backyard was very concerning with significant debris, trash, and bulk items. And there was also obstructions to the balcony, which was an egress. So our first letter, the health department letter, went out on January 9th. The first notice to clean up the property. Also, pictures were also sent to the police and fire, so they could also be in the loop. And then in February 10th, 2026, a second letter was sent because it had been past the 30 days that we hadn't heard. So a second letter went out, and that was not responded to. And on or about April 3rd, the third letter was sent out via regular and certified mail. All of these are regular and certified mail. And all of the letters went unanswered and no action was taken. And then we got the town administrator involved, and we had already been talking with the building department. And at that point, an administrative search warrant was we were talking with town council and Michael White, who's the building commissioner, and then town council filed for an administrative search warrant, which was granted, and we had 10 days to search the property. So many staff from the health department, from building, fire, the assistant town administrator, police officers, we went to the property. on May 19th and knocked on the doors, and no one answered. At that time, there was some pictures taken of some concerning findings, some loose electrical wires that were appearing inside the house, questionable leakage of sewage. There was debris, trash, and bulk items that had been photographed. And at that time, town council recommended that the health department issue an emergency condemnation order, which we went out to the house and we put the emergency condemnation order on all the doors. And let's see, and then we did get in touch with Gertha's daughter, Faye, who's here with us tonight. And we also had a town constable serve all the legal documents to Gertha regarding this case. And we also emailed Faye to say that all the occupants are required to vacate. That was on the emergency condemnation order. And I'm just going to read one of our codes in the housing code 410-900. When a residence or portion thereof has been condemned and placards as unfit for human habitation, and the occupant of a condemned dwelling unit or rooming unit is not the owner of the residence, the owner shall provide comparable suitable housing for the occupant for the following time period, or whichever is shortest. The remaining term of the lease or rental period, such time as the residence is deemed suitable for habitation by the Board of Health, such time as the occupant finds alternative permanent housing and voluntarily terminates tenancy. We did, myself and Carolyn Ho, Assistant Health Director, went out today and we were met by Faye and Gertha and allowed to go inside and take some pictures and do a walkthrough inspection. We sent those pictures to the board and I believe to town council. I don't know if you can pull those up, Carolyn, and we can kind of go through some of the pictures.
The pictures from today, Caroline.
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second. Was everyone able to see the timeline Word document that I was sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, let me pull up the pictures now. 1 second.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Okay, I have the OneDrive open and I can go through them. It's just a little difficult because I can't, if there's not an arrow for me to continuously go through next, so I'm gonna have to open the photo and then close it and then open another one. But
Maybe
I can't.
go to not the beginning of the photos. I know you took over 180 photos, but maybe towards the end. So the concern, there was a number of concerns when we went into 4 Craig Street. The first floor has 3 bedrooms.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, and the basement was very concerning.
Okay.
Pull up some of those pictures in the basement.
Okay. So this was one of the refrigerators in the basement. That's one.
Maybe you can pull them up so you can see it.
Are you able to see it?
I see it. It's very small, but it's not.
Postage
I can't see
stamp.
it. Yeah.
It's very small.
Mm. Can you maybe enlarge the screen?
It's full screen on my end, so I'm not sure why it's very tiny on your guys' end.
Because I think the window you're opening up is not shared. If you go back to the shared and share your whole screen as opposed to just the document, you know?
Entire screen. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. This is right in the kitchen area as well.
In the basement.
Yeah. This is the refrigerator again. This was what partly what the building commissioner was concerned about, just like the loose
Wires.
electrical wires, not in a box. Some of the cabinets are in really rough shape. The bathroom, there was a very strong odor, bad odor, I would say, coming from the bathroom. And I don't know if it's because of the trash can there, if there's mold.
It's cracks on the floor. Yeah, on the
There's
floor.
cracks on the floor. I'm trying to find a better picture. This was the state of one of the showers, the tile over here on the right side, that like black tile that's missing. This is the cracks on the bathroom floor. I'm concerned about these holes, just like these big gaps that potential rodents could enter from into. Let's see. More bedrooms. This was one of the bedrooms. The bedrooms are quite small. One of the concerns me and Caroline have is they're using like space heaters for a heating element, and majority of these rooms have a small refrigerator or a microwave unit.
And there's no fire detectors.
It kept like beeping while we were there, so that's a sign that they're either not completely functional or they need new batteries, which is also very concerning. A lot of just loose mattresses throughout the entire building. This was one of the rooms that they said they were in the middle of cleaning up from.
Like my son.
This is the garage. They said they were also trying to put these things in storage and clean up. Another mattress. They're also in the middle of cleaning the outside. The original pictures from the backyard are in our original correction orders, but this is the state that it was in today when we were there this morning. I believe this was the pipe that Michael White was referring to when he said it was leaking sewage, potential sewage just on the floor. I believe Gertha said they were in the middle of removing the pipe, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm also not familiar if this is in connection to that other pipe, but I just saw this sticking out from the ground. The balcony did get cleaned. I'm trying to find that picture. We were concerned about the egresses and just the access to the outside from the balcony because there were a lot of furniture and bulk items on there, but that did get cleaned up.
I see the balcony on the bottom here.
Bottom.
Right there, you got
That's
it.
like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like partially it. I was more taking pictures of the wires that was
Wires.
coming up from there. Yeah. That's pretty much it, unless you think there's a certain picture I'm missing, Caroline.
No, I think the biggest safety concerns was the no batteries in one, and some of the smoke detectors were even knocked off the wall, and wires were coming out. So there's safety with the fire detectors. It was unsanitary living conditions throughout. There was those wires that we don't know where they're going to, if they're live. I think the concern was building said there might be live wires. And there was a terrible odor. We both had masks on. I'm not exactly sure where that was all coming from, but the air quality in the house was very poor.
Mhm. Faye did mention that pest control was scheduled to come out tomorrow. When we were emailing initially last week, I did say that was one of the three like major priorities to get straight, because that was one of the complaints when we were getting calls, anonymous calls, that they were then starting to have rodent problems.
And it was photographed that there was a rat inside the house, a dead rat, that the building commissioner photographed. Right. So it was safety risks and unsanitary conditions in the house. Alex, would you like to say something at this point?
Sure. Thank you, Caroline. So, it sounds to me like there are still pretty significant concerns here. I think, as everyone on the board probably knows, the standard for condemnation is whether the dwelling is fit for human habitation. And, it's for the members of the board to determine, but it sounds like there's still some serious problems here that need to be addressed before it would be habitable in a safe condition.
And there were two people in the basement. One person was in the basement, and he said he'd been living there for 9 years. And the other person was in the basement too, and he lived there too, he said. So there was two people there that we witnessed.
Are there any more, Carolyn?
Not that we witnessed, but we did witness that there was a number of doorways into bedrooms. And did you count, was it 5, Carolyn, that had the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yes, I believe it was either 5 or 6. Each door had a specific number marked on the door as if there were apartments. I
Yes.
took pictures of those if you wanted me to bring them up as well. Give me 1 second.
So one other thing that I would note is, and this doesn't fall within the Board of Health's purview necessarily, but there's a zoning issue here as well.
Yeah.
Obviously having this many different tenants live in a single family dwelling is very concerning and not permissible from a zoning perspective. So that's a separate issue that will need to be addressed as well.
Are you able to see my screen?
I
Yes.
can see it.
Okay,
Yes.
that was 2. This is 3.
Did you get inside any of those rooms to see if they were occupied or?
I believe we entered all of them. One gentleman's room, he opened it up for us because it was locked. He was there and he opened it up for us. Another room had a gentleman living there. He was inside the room and he was able to open the door and let us in. I believe Faye and Gertha said this one occupant refused to leave even after the notice. So I'm concerned about that because his room, again, I believe had the mini fridge and the microwave. And we're concerned with the lack of smoke detectors. Anything could happen in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is another room. This is 4. This one was 5. But when we went into the other rooms, no one was in there, and it was pretty bare. It was like
Okay.
a mattress, and they were cleaning up. So I believe 5 total, and there's 3 rooms upstairs, but I believe Gertha occupies one of the rooms, so there's 2 residents upstairs.
Okay.
Bertha and Faye, would you like to speak now?
Hi, good evening. I wanted to thank you guys for hearing our appeal tonight. My name is Faye. As mentioned, I'm Gertha's daughter, who resides at 4 Craig Street. First, I do want to acknowledge the concerns raised by the health department. We understand the importance of maintaining safe and healthy living, and we fully recognize the importance of healthy living conditions, and we've treated this matter with the utmost seriousness since being served the order. Since that time, we've worked diligently to address issues identified. We have undertaken substantial cleanup efforts, including removal of debris. We filled a 20-yard dumpster, I believe it was, and was able to fill a 10 by 15 storage unit by removing debris and items from the home. We've also coordinated with contractors to come out. We've had some come out. We have a walkthrough with Michael White, as you mentioned, the building inspector on Thursday, the 4th. We have coordinated pest control, as you stated. They're coming by tomorrow. And we've just been boots on the ground every day, just cleaning up as much as we can. We respectfully request that the board consider not only the current conditions of the property.
Take your time, babe. Take your time. There's no rush. Take your time.
Take your
this-
time.
Thank you. We respectfully request that the board consider not only the current conditions of the property, but also the substantial progress that has been achieved within a relatively short notice. Literally the moment we were served, as much as of us can, we had over there and did what we could up until this very day. And we're continuing to committing and completing all necessary corrective actions. We also asked the board to take into consideration my mother's medical circumstances. She's currently facing a few health conditions at the moment where being unhoused would contribute a hardship for her. Our intentions is not to avoid responsibility. Rather, we seek to continue working collaboratively with the town of Milton to bring the property into full compliance while minimizing undue hardship. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Faye. Board, do you have any questions, or town council?
Town council, did you want to say anything?
No, I'm happy to answer any questions, but again, I think the question for the board members to consider is, whether the house in its current condition is fit for human habitation. And if the answer is yes, then I think it would be reasonable to lift the condemnation order. If the answer is no, then I think it needs to remain in effect.
These pictures were taken today, correct?
Yes.
So it seems to me it's not habitable or safe.
So, I'm sorry, can I also say one more thing? Those pictures were taken today. However, after Miss Caroline and Carolyn left, while they were there, we did have junk removal come in, and I wish I would have had emailed the pictures before the hearing, but they were able to empty out the entire garage. Most of the debris in the back have been hauled away, and they'll be back tomorrow. But if you guys allow me, I could definitely send over pictures and videos after the meeting.
But it's more the inside of the house that would be unsafe for habitation, not the garage and the backyard. And it looks to me
As
like,
far as smoke detectors, if you allow me, I can definitely have that situated tonight. It's nothing for me to run over to Home Depot and have somebody install them. And I also want to put out there that if we knew these issues to the degree that they were, we would have definitely been hands-on. But I was not aware of the smoke detectors. These are like little minute things that can be fixed, and unfortunately, they weren't fixed. But it is something that we're going to correct as soon as tonight, if you allow me.
I don't think it's habitable even with the smoke detectors. There's ways for rodents to get in. There was dead rodent in the house. I just think that we shouldn't lift the condemnation order yet. What do you think, Deborah?
So let me just say, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I imagine it's very stressful, and I appreciate that you shared all that you did, what you said. It was very helpful to understand. So I appreciate that, and I'm sorry you're going through this. So these orders are really around keeping you safe in terms of the electrical wires are concerning to me, and the pest, the rodent situation, and so the wiring is a fire hazard, so it is a concern for you and the folks who are living in the home. And you said the egress was clear. That is also egresses are blocked, so I'm glad to hear that it was cleared. I am concerned about the air quality, especially given your mom's health, you said. So that does concern me. And I'm just looking at my list of items. So my understanding, and I'm still learning the steps of how a condemnation order works, but my understanding is that if you, and please let me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, if you stay somewhere else temporarily, at a hotel or with friends, and actually there's a social worker in the health department who can also meet with you and help you sort out some temporary, help you figure out things that you might need in the meantime. Not saying she can solve all the answers, but she might be able to sit down and work through some of these temporary issues and until you're able to repair everything. And my question is this: what's the timeline? If they got the wires fixed and and had pest control come and clean the house and had repairs to the holes in the walls and repaired the plumbing, the sewage leaking is of concern to me also. So if we went down that whole list and everything was taken care of, how long does it take to come in and do another inspection to declare it habitable? I'm just trying to get a sense of how long this temporary period would be. Like, let's say they fixed everything in 2 weeks. Does the town send somebody over to declare it, to inspect it at that point, and then it becomes habitable? How does it become habitable? What's the timeline for that?
Yeah, so after all the repairs are done, then they can call the health department and we're happy to go out and do a repeat inspection.
Okay. So, assuming that you're saying you can get all the repairs done, or do you think you'd be able to do all of that, the wiring and the plumbing, all of that?
Absolutely. I've spoken to contractors. I have pests coming out tomorrow. I have laborers able to help me with necessary cleaning and debris removal. I believe it's something that we can do.
All right. So what I'm getting at is really, it's not just, it's your own safety in terms of a fire hazard and in terms of the air quality and the safety hazard and the sewage and all that, but also fire hazard for the neighbors. You have houses that abut, that are next to you. And so it really, so the condemnation order really, I know it feels awful, but to keep you safe and your neighbors safe and your family safe. And so I would say if, I think that I think it is important to get the repairs done immediately and to make it habitable. So I would support this, but I would also say that there is a social worker at the health department to maybe help you find to come up with a plan to talk through if you need somebody to help you talk through with like a temporary plan until you can get everything settled. Because I appreciate this is probably really disruptive, obviously, but it's also really around safety. And I think that's ultimately the bottom line, as hard as that is.
I know that the building commissioner, I think, is coming on Thursday also to the property to meet with some contractors. Is that true, Bertha? I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think another concern is the two people that are living in the basement and what will happen to them.
And if one man is refusing to leave, how do we get him out? Like, do we call the police? Do the police have to come in and remove him?
So my mom has taken the necessary step of calling the police, and I believe they guided her to go to a courthouse, a housing court, and she was able to do that a few days ago, actually.
But isn't there someone still in there?
Yeah, he's just outright refusing to leave.
Right. So how would we get him out of there?
I'm gonna call police.
Town council may be able to answer that question. I don't know.
Yes. So the police do have the authority under the sanitary code to forcibly remove occupants, but generally they are hesitant to do so, in my experience, unless there's a court order saying they can do so. So one option would be to proceed to housing court to get a court order, authorizing the police to forcibly remove anyone who's still living there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you feel safe from the tenant?
Those who feel safe. She shared with me that she does not.
Okay, so maybe also the social worker can help you with that situation as well. I don't know, Caroline, at least just to, yeah, that, because I'd worry for you for that as well.
So I guess tomorrow the next course of action, aside from getting the contractors out, would be heading to housing court and trying to get that court order, or following up to see if there's anything else that they need from her.
Okay.
Does the board want to ratify the emergency condemnation order that was originally posted?
I move that we do so.
I move that we do so also, but I want to make sure you have support making a temporary plan and to do that. I don't know if the social worker is available tomorrow. If you need help doing that, or you could do that on your own, like to relocate.
We would definitely appreciate some guidance from that social worker.
If you can contact us, we'll put you in contact with Ann Grossman. And also the two people that live in the basement, if they speak another language, we have a language line in the health department, so they can call us. So regarding responsibilities of the people that are in there, town council, can you review that a little bit, that the landlord has the responsibility to potentially rehouse the two people that are in the basement, or help with housing in that case?
Yes, that is a requirement in the sanitary code. Pending a condemnation, any tenants need to be provided alternative housing by the landlord.
We are aware of that sanitary code, and she was able to secure permanent housing for the gentleman who also refused that as well.
Oh.
So board, you made the motion to keep the emergency condemnation in force. Do you want to second that and vote individually?
I have one more question before. So when does that take effect? When would they have to be out?
Well, the order says vacate within 24 hours.
Okay.
They should be out already.
It should be out already, yeah. We put it on their door on May 19th. And they're still there.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know this is hard, but I will support the order to ratify the condemnation and urge you just to get support to make a temporary plan as soon as you can.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Do you have any final questions before we move ahead in the agenda, Gertha and Faye?
Like this one? No, we're all set. Thank you.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
reach
but
out to the health department tomorrow and we can put you in touch with our community health social worker, Ann Grossman.
Do you know where it is? Do you know where the health department is?
No, I was just gonna Google.
So do you know where town hall is in Milton?
Yes.
Okay, so it's in town hall. When you walk into the lobby, you go to your left.
Okay.
And it's down that hallway.
All right.
But call first to make sure that she has a private space and is ready and will be available. So make sure you call first.
I will do
Do
that.
you need the phone number?
Yeah, sure, please.
At 617
Uh-huh.
898 4886. That's the main line. And you can call that number tomorrow and we'll have Ann set up an appointment in a private space for you.
Okay. Thank you all so
And,
much.
and if you're the people that live downstairs, if they would like to also call, they can call and we can get a language line
Okay.
for them.
I'll let them know.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
I have one question, sorry. Do you know what language your tenants in the basement speak, just in case we need to queue up the language line if they do call?
Haitian Creole.
Haitian Creole. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so we'll
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
move on. Thank you, Alex, for coming. I appreciate your guidance.
Gertha and Faye, good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move along to number 6, 107-111 Highland Street. Request for condemnation of buildings, discussion and potential vote to condemn. And Superintendent Joe
Carolyn. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. That they have signed off, so I'm going to take this opportunity to say that at the end of our meeting, I'm going to ask to put on our agenda a discussion about some protocol around condemnations and how to help people and sort of some standard practice and ask some questions. So I'll do it at the end. I didn't want to say that while they were still on, and also maybe suggest that we use executive session for condemnations in the future for people who we know are coming to the call. But I don't know if you've done that before in the past.
We've never done that before in the past.
Yeah. So maybe we can put that and talk about it for our next agenda when Mary's here. Is that would be okay?
Yeah, I'll talk to
Great. Thanks.
Yep.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Ashley, I know that Nirmala is here and she's been waiting patiently. Do you want to move 7 up to hold on 6 and go to 7 first? Because Nirmala's been waiting here patiently.
Yes.
So we'll move to 7 and then I'll go back to
Yes.
6.
Great idea.
Okay, so 464 Granite Ave is a request for a body art permit for eyebrow microblading by Nirmala Ramnarian. And her business is Malroy PMU. And she's requesting a variance regarding a wall separation or partition in the office and approval of the body art establishment and practitioner permit. I see you here, Nirmala. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself. So to our board members also about the process. We've had you submit so much information and to permitize our permitting system, including your anatomy and physiology reports, your training hours, your aftercare procedures, your bloodborne pathogens, CPR, hepatitis B, your license, a drawing of your office space. I can go, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know Carolyn has been very helpful.
She was
working
very
with
helpful.
you and
It was a long process.
trying to, it's a lot of work getting all that information up into the portal. And so maybe I'll let you take it away and tell us a little bit about what your business is and kind of explain how to do the eyebrow microblading.
Okay,
Thanks.
so my business is permanent makeup for your eyebrows, or you can call it microblading, micro shading. So if you have thinning eyebrows, you want to have the perfect look of your eyebrows. It's not tattoo. It's like a form of a tattoo because we're not going so deep into your skin like a tattoo goes. So, and when you have your eyebrows done, it should be lasting you about a year to 2 years. And you can come back for another touch up to have it last more longer. So when you first have it done, you have to come back in 30 days for the touch up so it can last you a year and 2 years. So it all depends on your skin type and your shape of your eyes, your face, everything to have that look you're looking for. So you have that wake up and go look in the morning and to spend more hours on your eyebrows to make it up. So I don't know what other questions you want to ask me. It's my first time trying to open a business after I've been working 18 years in hospitality in a hotel. I need to get away from that to start my own business.
That's great. Maybe you can explain a little bit about all the training and all the hours that you worked to achieve this.
Yeah, so our training is that every month we have to work on clients to do their eyebrows, and we have to make sure we get overlooked by the teacher to make sure we're doing it the perfect way and asking the step by step how you're gonna open your business and how you can be treating your clients. So we have that training in that. So to do your intake form, asking the health questionnaires, all that. I have all that done.
Now,
Yeah,
it's,
I have some of like the paperwork and forms and Normala certificates if you want me to share my screen so you guys have a better visual.
Sure.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
yes.
This was her A&P completion from Mass College of Liberal Arts. I believe this is where she went to her microblading school, Adriana's Academy.
Yes.
Her certificate there. I believe this is her aftercare instructions. I was kind of working back and forth with her with that. We have a rubric that we based off of. So anything that was missing, like the consult a healthcare provider portion, she did go ahead and add those. Like anything that I saw was missing based off the rubric, she did go ahead and add those. She just renewed her bloodborne pathogen certificate. She had it last year as well, but it just expired because I think they're only valid for a year. So she just got that renewed as well. This is the client and consultation form. So this is where all the healthcare questions are asked, just so people can see if they're eligible for it. And there's a section for if you're under 18 or not. I don't know if you guys are still reading. Do you want me to go next? Or if you're...
You can go to the next one for me.
Okay. She also has her CPR training, which is always a plus It's not required, but it's good that she has it. This is just proof of her Hep B vaccination. This is one of her product, like manufacturing sheets. We do like to have like a SDS safety data sheet binder for any chemicals used. So she has that for her inks. There's ingredients in the ink, so if anyone has any allergies, they can always refer to that as well. This is the setup picture that she uploaded. I believe this is the space that she's planning, that she's renting currently in Granite Ave. So she's ready to go. She's just waiting for this.
Is that your current setup? That's what your office looks like now?
You're on mute, Ramal.
Sorry. Yes, that's how my office looks like now.
Yeah.
She did say she planned on using single-use needles, which is
The cartridges, yes.
yeah. And then this is just an example of the services that she offers. And this is what the empty space looked like. And I believe her variance is because the way her office is set up, there's not a wall, like a wall to ceiling, solid wall blocking off the waiting room area versus where she'll be doing her procedures. The previous microblading person who applied, when we went into his office, there is a solid wall separating the two, like his desk area versus where his procedures were. But I don't believe her office space has that. So she's asking for the variance to use a partition to separate the two.
So,
Any questions?
yeah, so good for you for starting your own business. That's always scary and a lot of work. And you clearly have done a lot of training and prep. So congratulations for getting to this point. That's very exciting. So my question, I have two questions and a comment. One has to do with, so the needles, so the single-use needles, is it like a tattoo needle or?
It's a small cartridge that you attach to actually this machine. This is like the electric machine that we use. You put the needle right in here. It's like a small little tiny needle that's to do the tattooing.
So
And
the
this is
ink is in the cartridge and you're just using the same one the whole time.
Exactly. So the ink, you dip it into the ink and it inserts. And this is a disposable microblading to do microblading for your eyebrows. So there's two processes on how you do eyebrows. I can microblading it, or you do with the manual or your electric machine.
And so what do you do with the disposal of the needles? How do you dispose of the needles?
I have
storage.
I have that, but medics, yes. That's a box to dispose it in. So I have a contract already set up to pick up the needles.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a safe needle box, so you can't.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. That's great. And then my other question has to do with confidentiality. So I think the wall, I assume, has to do with giving privacy to the client you're working on. Is that right? And so
I know, but it's by appointments only as well. But I already spoke to Caroline. She was telling me what if somebody comes in early and they have to wait for their turn and stuff like that. That's what I was asking for, a partition, because I do have a part of partition there already, but I can also have, like how the hospital have the curtain around the bed as a partition as well on the wall on top. I can put that up because I do have that. I'm just waiting for approval, but that's okay to put it up.
So, but there'll be still sound. It won't be fully private. It'll be partially private, visually private, but folks could still hear if they're sitting on the other side of the partition or the curtain.
It's not a medical procedure, is it?
No, it's not.
So they don't really, it's okay if they're hurt. It's not a privacy matter as far as they need, HIPAA doesn't apply.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And is the space big enough for a partition and for a chair?
Yes, I already have a partition there already, a metal one, but it's just that I just need someone to come over and look at it to see if it's approved and it's okay how it is. That's like,
Yeah.
if they need to put something else up, I will put it up.
So if we vote and approve it tonight, Carolyn, are you going over and inspecting it before it's final? What's the order of things?
So I'll answer that question. Yes, we have to go over and do an inspection, make sure everything looks okay. We can take a picture of that partition. We can send it to you so you could approve it tonight on condition that you accept the partition the way it looks.
Yeah. I don't need to see it. I trust that you guys will determine if it's appropriate or not. Yeah, that's fine. That sounds good. I'm happy to support you in getting your business finally moving along. It's very exciting. The last thing I was going to say, the very small comment, is I found a typo in one of in the form for the consultation form.
Okay.
So just I can tell Carolyn later.
Okay, I'd like to know what it is because I'm very strict with my errors too.
Yes. So, yes. So I can tell Carolyn.
Which form was it? A consultation form?
Yeah. If you want to pull it up, I can show it to you. I just don't want to use up a lot more time. Yeah, so you see on the top left on the very, very top where it says Mallory, and you have permanent is spelled wrong.
PERMA.
Oh, there's an I in there.
No, there shouldn't be. It should be an N.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, it's an A there. That's an A.
Permanent.
But there's an I too. Permeament.
Okay, that's okay. Then my finger must have touched something on that because my other form has spelled the right way.
You've done so much work, and
I know. Okay, I have to correct that form then.
You're almost there. So I'm ready to vote. I really want to wish you the best of luck. And Carolyn, thank you for all your hard work working with her to get everything done.
All right.
Well, I move we vote to give her the variance.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Also vote to approve the practitioner permit and the body art establishment.
Okay, I move to approve the permit and the body art establishment.
Yes, I move so as well, and looking forward to the town of Milton having another new business.
I hope to see you guys there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Be in touch.
Thank you.
Okay. Next agenda item is septic system plan review fee increase. To cover the cost of consultant Paul Brogna, discussion and vote to increase fees. So presently, the fees are at $400, and that's not covering Paul Brogna, our septic consultant's fees. I don't know. I sent it to you, but I think it's also in the drive, Carolyn.
Oh, good, because
Jean
I
had made
don't
like
have
a
my
list.
phone on me.
That's okay. Jean had made a list, I think last year, of how much it's costing for Paul Brogna on different addresses. Do we have that in there? Septic cost there. That's great. There it is. Thank you.
Yep.
So this is kind of a look to see the average cost of Paul Brogna's review of the septic plans, depending on the complexity of the plan, and then there's revisions. So it gets as high as, I think the highest is about $900. So I did talk to the accountants, and they said and Nick too, town administrator Nick Milano, and he said to increase it because we want to make sure that we're not paying Paul Brogna before we get the money ahead of time. And if it's, let's say we increase it up from 400 to 1,000 or up to 1,200, even 1,500, it can always be after the permit plans, the plans are looked at. If there's if it only costs $800, then we can refund. And we definitely have less than 12 septics a year. We don't have that many septic systems. So we can do the reimbursement, but we're trying to get the money on the front end so we can pay Paul Brogna for his services. So it's up to you if you wanted to increase it. As I said, I think 910 was the highest here, but of course prices are always going up.
I think we should make it, say, 1,500 rather than have to come back next year. And it looks like we're always raising the fee. I would just go with the 1,500 in the hopes that that would cover everything as they get the money back anyway.
Yeah, they'll get the money back.
Can I add something that might be a little useful? Because I am the one doing like the permitting stuff on the back end and working with the engineers and the septic installers. So Paul is starting his work when an engineer submits septic plans if a septic system fails or is in need of an upgrade. So that's when Paul starts reviewing, and that's when he starts billing, because he's reviewing these complex plans to make sure they're all up to Title V. And with the original fee that we're on now, we're charging these engineers $400 at first. And they can pay the $400, and the plan was the rest of the invoice that Paul sends, if it's over $400, the septic installer, who's a different person, will go in and pay the rest of the fee. That's how we broke it up. But the problem that I'm foreseeing that we didn't foresee last time we voted on this is the plan can get approved pretty quickly, but it could take like months, or sometimes people even wait like a year to get it installed. And then the installer will not pay his permit fee until that's done. So the lag of the in-between could be a lot too, which could be a struggle.
Okay,
right, Carolyn. This could go on for months and months. Meanwhile, we have to pay the bills.
Right.
Where did that money come out of? Does he just wait to get paid, or the town pays him and then we get reimbursed from the installer?
So right now we have a professional services $8,000 that we have set aside for Paul Brogna. But starting July 1st, and this is why this has to be implemented by July 1st. Starting July 1st, the $8,000 is going to be for the maternal and child health nurse that we can advertise for. So what we're trying to capture is the resident or the engineer to pay for the septic plan to be reviewed, instead of setting aside town funds to pay for Paul Brogna. It's really the responsibility of the homeowner to pay for this septic plan review. So this should go into effect by July 1st, whatever you're increasing it to.
So you know how other towns, how other boards of health usually do it?
Can you repeat the question, Deborah?
Yeah. Do we, sorry. Sorry, hold on a second. Do we know how other towns, boards of health do it? How their structure works?
No, Carolyn researched that.
Yeah.
I had made a spreadsheet of what nearby towns were charging their residents for like plan reviews and installations. Every town's a little bit different. Some towns charge way more, because I believe our old fees were like 150, 175, while other nearby towns would charge like 350, or they don't charge for a plan review and they just charge one total big cost. But it varies between towns.
Okay. I would say 1,000, and because it hasn't really gone up, 1,500. I mean, the cost of everything is so expensive these days. So we could do 1,000, and then on the rare instance where it goes over, because most of those, can you pull that document up again? Most of those are far from 1,000, right? I mean, there was one that was close.
Yes. Sorry, I can't seem to get my screen out of full screen. What's going on
Is
here?
that,
Oh,
I'm just thinking raising it from 400 to 1,500, that's like a big leap. And maybe we can just, and revisit it next year. Like if multiple people kind of exceed the 1,000, I'm open to increasing it, but maybe just doing an incremental thing where maybe this year is just 1,000. And then will you have on the bill itself or on the document itself or invoice where it says, you will be, money will be returned to you if the whatever is exceeded, the assessor's, the inspector's cost is exceeded or something?
if we're changing the septic fee, what we did last time when we voted for the 400 is we sent like a mass letter to all the engineers and installers, so they were aware of the septic fee. We gave them a couple months too. I think we voted on the summertime, Caroline, and we said it wasn't in effect until October, and no one has complained so far, so or had any questions. So
Okay. All right.
Well, I still think I would prefer 1,500, but why don't we just go with the original suggested 1,200? Kind of split the difference there.
Deal. Sounds good to me.
All right, so
on the document, the invoice or wherever it is, will it say that you will be refunded if the inspectional costs or this are below this, or will there be language so people know that they might be getting it back if it's an uncomplicated situation?
So it's there. Make sure it's there. I want to say it's already there, but
what did you say?
I said we can make sure it's there. I want to say it may already be there.
Okay,
but we can
I would
make
think
sure
it would
there.
be.
Yeah.
And who sends that money back? Like, is that?
That's the accounting department.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to cut a check back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm ready to vote.
Okay, well, I move to raise the fee to $1,200. Do you want to second that, Deborah?
Second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, the next number 9 and 10. Number 9 is a cease and desist that was sent to Lulu's Safe Crumb, who was operating with no permit. And so we sent a letter to cease and desist. I know that the owner of Lulu's has put in some information into Permitize, but they haven't contacted us. Is that true, Carolyn?
yes, Maya did.
Yes.
I'm trying to pull up the cease and desist. 1 second.
Great, thank you.
Yep. So Lulu's, the person operating, I believe, is Laura Hill. She has not contacted our office as far as I know, or emailed me or Caroline. I know Maya, the other person, did reach out to our office, and we've spoken to her, and I've emailed her with further steps on how to do the right permitting protocol. Lulu's hasn't said anything. They just signed up for a food establishment permit, which is one permit ahead of herself. Like, she needs to get her residential kitchen plan review first. So I did message her like, oh, if you wanted to start your residential kitchen, you need to apply for this first. She didn't respond to that message, and then she just filled out a residential kitchen plan review. And she did upload some stuff. It was in the red, but because we were busy all day today, I didn't get a chance to look at it. So I don't know what she has or hasn't submitted.
Yeah, so she's received the paperwork, so she knows, and she's starting to submit what needs to be submitted for the permit. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and she just, until she gets her permit, won't be able to
Correct.
cook anything. Okay.
And then the second, number 10, the second residential kitchen cease and desist, Maya, she did call, as Carolyn said. Carolyn did send her all the information to load up into Permitize. And I think finally she did call again and say that she's going to not open the business again. She's not going to do that right now. So she has all the information. She may do that at some other time, but right now it's cease and desist, and she says she's not going to open it. So.
Did you need the Board of Health to vote on that, or is this just letting us know?
I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
How did these two come to your attention?
The internet.
Yeah, we have a Milton Facebook account, so I'll go just on the main page just to see what's going on in the neighborhood, just like for fun. But I saw these two bakeries came to our attention. I believe on was I thought yeah. So I included in the letter how it came to our attention, and I was referencing like why we were sending them the letter.
I would move the I was going to say move the address off the screen.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah. All right, great. Thanks you for letting us know.
All right, I'll move on to number 11, the health director report.
Do we want to do Highland Street first?
Oh yeah, there we go. Yep, Highland. Okay, so let's do number 6. 107-111 Highland Street, request for condemnation of buildings, discussion and potential vote to condemn. So the superintendent, Joe Fignano, met both the building inspector, Michael White, and myself out at the property on Friday. And there are 2 pictures that I believe I sent you. There's a dilapidated building. It's been dilapidated for many years, and the whole site is like overgrown. And they did do an asbestos survey, and that's attached to it too. So he was requesting that the Board of Health condemn the property so they can move forward with their asbestos removal. And he said he needed that. That's never come to my attention before, that he's needed a condemnation first. But he said that DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, asked him to get a condemnation from the Board of Health before he could move forward with the removal of the asbestos. So that's what he's asking for the board to condemn.
Can I ask a question? Who oversees his asbestos removal process? Because that is a I know has a lot of criteria and regulation, safety, safeguards, and all of that. Who do you guys is the health department a part of that, or is that the DEP level that the DEP inspects it? I'm just curious.
They have to be a licensed asbestos removal company that's approved by the state. And there's a list of them. I don't know if you can pull up. Did I put into my files the pictures and the letter from him?
1 second. I know you included the pictures. I believe this might be the letter.
There's a letter, yes. So he's writing on behalf of Avita at Milton LLC, owner and record of the structures, 111 Highland Street. All the structures have experienced severe structural deterioration. They've experienced, let me see, a pre-demolition bulk asbestos analysis, that's a survey, has been completed by TRC Industrial Hygiene Laboratories. And it confirms the presence of the asbestos-containing materials. Down a little bit more, but he's mentioning DEP in here. He has to proceed with authorization to proceed with the demolition and bulk load out of the materials in accordance with 310 CMR 7.15. So a demolition civil plan with logistics is attached. Following the board's action, Avita at Milton LLC will immediately file a demolition permit application with the building department and pursue a notice of unsafe structure from the building commissioner. I don't know if you can scroll down a little bit more. It just mentions the survey, but they have to have the proper licensed asbestos removers. And then what will happen is the survey is attached here, but they'll send a notice afterwards of what they did and how it was disposed of. So
there's no like inspection of, I guess because he's licensed. Yeah. All right.
We don't do any inspections. DEP would be doing inspections if they needed to do. You have to wear
That's what I
respirators
mean.
and things like
That's
that.
that's what I'm asking. DEP does the inspection. Okay, great. All right. Well, then I'll vote to support the condemnation.
Yeah, I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. All right, moving to the health director report. Just a couple of updates. Let's see, 68 Smith Road. They did actually email me because I usually, every time we're having a board meeting, I send an email and say like, well, what's going on with that property? So that was, for your knowledge, Deborah, that was condemned like how long
2
ago?
years ago? 3 years ago?
Yeah. And so they've been
I think I was on all those meetings. I think I saw most of that.
He said that there's a change in leadership, in church leadership. That was his last email last week.
Oh.
And he's sending plans to the architect and the window company. So that's his update. So I said, thank you for updating us. Then 5 to 9 Thatcher Street.
Wait, it's currently condemned. You right, Smith Road.
Yes.
Is it, Carolyn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any more questions?
No, sorry, go ahead.
5-9 Thatcher Street. So this is a property where the Knights of Columbus is, and they have another house on that property. The board did consider condemning it, but they've been working with us. I'll give you an update from Representative Richard Joyce. So Mr. Joyce has been sending pest control reports, and he's sending them every month. January, he missed February because I guess snow, but January, March, and April, he sent pest control reports. And he also wrote on May 5th that he said his client is having his architect redraw plans as the planning board was not in favor of the previous proposal. My client expects that those new plans with a reduced number of units will be ready in about 3 weeks from now. So they're working with the planning board, actively working with them to create some units, I suppose, at the sites. Maybe, I don't know exactly what's going on in there yet, but they've been working with the planning board, it sounds like. So we'll get another update. So things are moving ahead at that property. Do you have any questions, Deborah? No. 333 Thatcher Street. This has been going on for a couple of months. Correction order was sent. Town council brought it to court. Carolyn and I inspected probably about a month ago now, and the owner is actively fixing all the violations. There's nobody living at that property, and the owner is going to call us when everything's done, and we're going to go back for a re-inspection. So that's moving in a positive direction.
Great.
And a couple more updates. The drug take back day, we collected 74 pounds of drugs on April 25th. working with the police, the drug take back day. April 28th, we had a virtual TikTok presentation on Zoom. And I asked for them to put it on cable TV. I haven't checked to see if they were able to do that, but it was a great presentation. May 16th, we had a food drive, and no one came to our food drive, which is too bad, very bad. So as I think that people are busy in the month of May, and it just got lost. So we didn't get any donations at our food drive.
I'm sorry to hear that. What was the food drive event?
Yeah.
No. So what was the events? Like where, how, when?
So it was on May 16th. It was where we had our last event, and we got a good amount of donations, but
Which was where?
which is right behind the town hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
people
that's
could just drive up and they could donate canned foods or whatnot. But so we had a table set up behind town hall.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's unfortunate. I wonder if it's if there was a promotion. Like, what was the promotion for it?
we advertised it on our channels and Milton Times.
We did.
We had a sign too.
Yeah, we had our
We had a blinking
Facebook, social
sign.
media. We did our Milton Times ad, the blinking sign outside that I
Out
think
front.
police set out for us. We put it in our newsletter.
I'm wondering if maybe in the future to partner with like the PTOs or the schools, to get the message out through the networks where,
Kind of like at Thanksgiving when they assign
yeah,
each class something to bring,
yeah,
cranberry sauce or what have you.
Yeah.
Maybe in a more open area, like in front of the library where people are driving by and say, "Oh, I forgot. I go home and get some food," and because you don't really see behind at the fire department.
Right, that's where we had the sign. We had the police put up a
Okay.
sign to say we're having it. The reason we had it there too is because storage. So the fire
Yeah,
station.
so it was easier.
We had staff from the fire station help us load the food into the fire station. We don't have any room in the health department to be putting food. So they were thankfully willing to store our food until we sorted it and used it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, sorry, you were giving it away or you were collecting it?
We're collecting food. And the last time we had the food drive, the fire department staff came and was helping us bring the food into the fire station.
Previous event. I see.
We had to store it. We had no space in the health department to store it, so they kindly enough stored it in the fire station for us. And that's why we had it right there by the fire station again, for storage reasons.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a good amount of people who showed up last fall too. So we didn't think that would deter anyone because we were like shocked at how many people came. And the traffic was easy too because the car could just stop and pull up and there wasn't like cars coming in and out from the streets. So we thought it was a nice place. Yeah.
You know what? I wonder if the SNAP benefit at the crisis at the federal level impacted resident motivation. As I recall, actually, that when you advertised in the fall, people were very motivated around the SNAP-ish.
Right.
As I recall.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Maybe that, next time be interesting to partner with some, local groups and have them, get the message out to their networks. Anyway, I'm sorry that happened, but thank you for doing it.
Thanks. When you're speaking, Deborah, it's hard to kind of hear you sometimes. Are you
It echoes.
Really?
with your microphone
really?
or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's sometimes going in and out. Maybe
oh
if
my
it's closer.
gosh. I think I was too far away from my microphone.
There's almost like an echo.
There's an
or
echo.
something going on. Do you
Yeah.
hear that? I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what that is.
Really?
You
Yeah.
don't have another open like phone or something. Yeah, it's very weird. When you listen to the recording, you'll see what it like. There's a little echo, and I wasn't sure if you were. It was because you were kind of further away from the computer, but
Is there still an echo now?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
all right. Well, we're almost in the home stretch
We're in
here,
home
so
stretch. All right.
I won't talk.
So
That's
this
sure
week
I
on
will.
June 4th, at the Council on Aging, we're going to have a documentary. It's called Keys, Bags, Names, and Words. So looking forward to that on Thursday. And then the food bags and the take one, leave one shelves are continually being restocked. And Grossman is ordering from Amazon weekly or bi-weekly. And I enclosed a letter to the select board seeking $15,000 of funding for FY27 from the Governor Stoughton Fund to support purchasing more of a variety of foods and also some shares at two local farms, the Wardsbury Farm, Sharon, and the Brookwood Farm in Canton. And I spoke with the town administrator, Nick Milano, today, and he said that there was $15,000 that could be used from the fund. And I'll talk to him further. I don't know when the select board are meeting again, but I know the last time we asked for some money from the select board, Nick just brought the request in. The last time that was $1,000, so he might ask us to come in, and so I'll reach out to him again and ask him. So I sent the letter to him, and if the board approves that or wants to change some language or whatnot in the letter, myself, Anne, and Lisa Courtney kind of composed that letter. Lisa Courtney mostly in the beginning, and we just tweaked it.
This is a really good opportunity to raise awareness around food insecurity and how bad it's getting, but also to demonstrate that the current agencies that are providing the support are hard pressed, and that that the Board of Health, that that the Health Department. I know you have the take one, leave one bags, and you have the you have the take one, leave one through mass emotion, right? And then Anne, the social worker, gives out bags, has bags of food, right? Shelf stable. So this might be a really good opportunity to present somewhere or go to a select board meeting. Or I don't know when the next trustees meeting is. They just had one actually a couple days ago, so it's probably not for another month. But it's a good opportunity to present all of the metrics of how many people are asking for food and how the health department is not able to meet the needs because you only have this much, but you need the request is this much. So it might be this might be a good opportunity to demonstrate what the needs are, actually. And I'm sorry if I'm echoing. So, I mean, you might want to consider going to the next trustees meeting and just presenting. So, Laura, I had told Caroline earlier that I went down the rabbit hole of trying to get myself up to speed regarding the Governor Stoughton trust fund and how much is in it and who they currently fund and how much they currently fund and how it happens. And so I ended up reading a lot about the Governor Stoughton Trust Fund, which I didn't know about. I mean, I knew about it in general, but not a lot of the really interesting historic backstory, which was really interesting. And I also saw, and I went through a ton of minutes, and they had a meeting the other day in April, and they haven't posted minutes for that yet. But I found it complicated to try and assess how much, it said how much was in it. So for the, what was that meeting? I think December 16th, 2025. Is that the date? Hold on, let me get my dates. Hold on one sec. I just want to make sure I'm giving you the right information. I wrote it down. So, okay. So in their meeting minutes from December, this is the Governor Stoughton Trust Fund, which is the select board, but it's a separate meeting. Governor Stoughton Trust Fund, in their December 16th, 2025 minutes, it says that they have $400,000 available. And then looking at different minutes, it looks like they funded the Milton Residence Fund and the Milton Food Pantry and BID Uncompensated Care Fund for Milton residents. And between the three of those funds, it was about $275,000. I sent an email to Nick, and it sounds like Caroline also talked to him, asking for if he knows the exact amount. And I CC'd somebody from the Governor Stoughton Trust, because it's actually an interesting moment and an opportunity for the community at large to really understand that food insecurity is really happening here in Milton, and all of us see that prices are rising. Grocery, everything, the cost of living, it's so expensive, and it's really hitting our most marginalized residents hardest, right? Because they're the ones who are already kind of making ends, barely making ends meet. So I think it's a good opportunity, to ask the Governor Stoughton Trust Fund for an actual, and maybe I missed it, maybe it's on their website, but they don't have an accounting of how much that's not buried in the minutes, like a separate document where you can just click on it and open it and see how much was in it from year to year, and then how much has been funded from year to year, and what's remaining. That would be interesting. I also know, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the fund is only the money from the interest, the annual interest that's accrued every year off the principal. And the principal is like $5 million, but the interest is only what's used to give out money. So it's not like there's $5 million for the residence fund, it's just the interest. So that's one thing that I don't really see written anywhere. I sort of mentioned in one of the minutes from a year ago, but I think it would be interesting to request of them to just, for the four entities, right? And there might be more, and I don't know where there are more entities. I didn't see it in the minutes, but Milton BID, the Milton Food Pantry, and the Milton Residence Fund. And then if the Board of Health, if the Health Department gets the money, then that would be four. So I think it would be a good opportunity to have them put a document or something on their website. There is a Governor Stoughton website, on the town website, a link. Their minutes are not up to date. The minutes are from 2023. I had to go to the main page and do a search, and that's where I found the most recent minutes. Anyway, so yeah, so I'd be interested to know how much is remaining and how much you actually need, how much the health department really needs. Like, is $15,000 going to cover what you need? You know what I mean? And also, I know that there's some collaboration between you all, based on just my own. Just my own knowledge. I know that you guys do partner and talk to each other. The health department talks to the food pantry and the Milton Residence Fund. I'm sure Ann and Lisa connect with them in terms of just their work they do. So yeah, so that's all. It's a good opportunity to raise awareness. You might want to present at the next Governor Stoughton meeting and to explain what the need is and how you're not able to make ends meet and why you're requesting the 15,000, and then also request to have a document. And I don't mind doing that. You don't have to do that part. So yeah, that's all I want to say. It's a good opportunity to raise awareness for the Governor's Stone Trust Fund, for the community at large, for the select board to understand, right? So another opportunity to raise awareness about how much you guys do with so little. That's all.
Thank you. Let's see. And then just a couple more updates. We have a new food establishment, Julienne's, that's going to be opening. And Carolyn and I did the walkthrough on May 27th for 2 hours. So Carolyn went back again today. The refrigerators needed to be looked at. They didn't have the temps. So she went back out today to look at the temps. And there's a couple little things that need to be sent in, but we're working with them on that.
Good.
Yeah. Then there's another marketplace opening called Two Pence. It's undergoing construction right now, and we're just waiting.
That at Milton Village there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that'll be interesting.
It's the Bank of America.
Yeah.
And we're going to do an inspection there. So I think they have started some construction and sent some plans.
Good.
For that. 2 swimming pools were inspected and open, Burr Estates in Wollaston. Farmers market's going to be starting, and I'm sure we've got some applications so far for the farmers market. We've got over a dozen camp applications so far, and Nurse Susan Poirier is very busy with the camp applications. And we did some interviews with HR Director Carla Feed for the health agent position. Since Emily left, Carolyn Ho went to be the assistant health director, and now we're so we interviewed a number of people, but Jenna Conroy, who's actually a Milton resident, she rose to the top. She's the most qualified, she has the most experience, and she's actually working in Canton right now. And so she's accepted the offer. Background check's good, and so we're just waiting. I emailed Carla again today to find out what's her start date. So excited to have her come aboard. Yeah,
that's great.
The next 2 or 3 weeks, she'll be coming on board. And we know
Carolyn, congratulations.
Yes.
And yeah, to your new position. You are.
Thank you.
Really, that's very exciting.
Oh.
And when does she start? Jenna starts when?
We don't know yet. So in process. I emailed Carla today to ask when, and we'll find out soon. Hopefully within the next 3 weeks, I'm hoping. And then Assistant Town Administrator Cody, actually it's Cody Case. He's going to secure a college intern for us. And it's going to be 5 hours a week. So that's starting in the fall. So I thought that this intern could help us with our promotion of events, with Facebook, maybe Milton Times articles, and some more highlighting what the health department does.
Great.
And then good news is another good news. I don't think I put it on here, but Carolyn Ho secured a $5,000 grant from NEHA. So let's see. And that is to do with food. So there's some trainings around food, and Carolyn applied for this grant, and we were accepted to get the grant. So
great.
$5,000 for some training around food.
Good job.
That's amazing. Congratulations. What do you mean? What do you mean? Can you say more about it?
The grant is from NEHA. So it's a NEHA grant, and this grant is basically to get health departments. It's with the FDA retail food standards. So we'll go out and do our regular routine food inspections, but there are certain standards you have to meet. It's a lot of work. There's little criteria, sub-criteria you have to complete, and then you get audited. And then if you meet that standard, you have to complete, I think, is it 7 standards, Caroline? 7 or 9?
Okay.
You met standard 1 I'm in the process of working on 2 other standards. It's just a little hard because Emily left, and then I was like the in between, and then the in between of waiting for Jenna to come in because we've just been swamped with case after case and more inspections that keep coming. So hopefully when Jenna comes, I can dedicate more time to that. But we did renew it and we got the grant. And I need to double check with them on what the money can be spent on. But I think if it's anything related to retail food standards, we're able to. When we went to MHOA last year for the conference, I went to this really interesting like rodent
With the
seminar.
with the initial NEHA and the other thing you just said, can you just say what everything stands for? The conference last year and NEHA?
MHOA was the I'm gonna sound so
Massachusetts
wrong.
Health Officers Association.
Yes.
Massachusetts Health Officers Association.
And NEHA stands for National Environment. Caroline, you gotta help me with the rest of them.
Oh.
I'm so used to there we go. I just got an email from them. I'm so used to the acronyms. 1 second. NEHA stands for National Environment Health Association.
Yeah.
So it's under NEHA.
It's really more for the record, so we know what you're talking about. So what's the money for again? Does it cost that to sign up for the training?
No, I think it maybe could be used for training, but anything food related. So if we meet certain standards, we get that money and we're able to use that money to either help the standards or help further our retail food standards. So I know when I was mentoring with someone from North Craven County, she came over to like go over what food standard, because she had completed all her food standards, and she said one of the things she used the money for was to get like every food establishment binders with helpful food resources, like things like that. Well, when I was mentioning for MHOA, one of the PowerPoint presentations, this person worked in pest control a lot, like in a lot of schools in Boston, and she had this really useful tool called a fry. I need to look it up, but it detects like if there's a hole size that can fit into that tool, that means a mouse can go through. So I was thinking if we were able to use that money to get every food establishment in Milton that tool, that way if they notice a hole, then they can say, okay, yeah, this hole is big enough for a mouse. I need to get that fixed up. That was one of the ideas that I had. Yeah.
Great. Congrats again for taking the initiative for writing it. That's great.
Thanks.
I think that's it on my end. Is there anything else that you can think of, or?
The Milton Coalition is doing a training tomorrow night, a mental health training.
That's true. We're doing question, persuade, and refer training, and it's suicide prevention. So we've had the trainings before for the community, and we're having the training. Initially, it was going to be for the Milton Coalition, but I see that Lorianne put it in the newsletter that went out from BID Milton Hospital. See, we're having it in the old fire station, so it's not a big room. So when I saw it go into that newsletter, I'm like, wow, that's great, but how many people are going to come? I'm thinking in my mind. So we didn't advertise it further than that because it was supposed to be originally just for the Milton Coalition. And then the person that's going to be doing the training, I think they had a couple of more people that were coming. So I was thinking, how many people are going to come? Hopefully, we have all the seats for people. So you're right.
Great.
So that's tomorrow night.
That's great.
And was it in our newsletter? I don't know if it was in our newsletter. Probably not, because I don't think we didn't push it out that far. We didn't push it out that far.
Second act, but not this one.
Yes, you're right. So second act. So we did have, we had the play second act come, and they went to the Council on Aging. We had a few people come, but again, busy month in May, and hoping to get it into the schools, and they didn't have any room, and hoping to have a conversation to have it in the schools, which is really where it should be, where the kids are there and they can see the second act play. But I thought it was very good. There was a couple of people that did go from the community, but we'll concentrate more on the schools. I'll talk to Karen Cahill and see if we can get it into the schools. It was in the schools. We had it a couple of years ago in the schools, and Probable Players was the name previously. So it really needs to be in the schools. But I was impressed by the play.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. I know you wanted to talk about some other things, Deborah. It's not in our agenda. Do you want to send some questions to me or things that you want to bring up to go into the next agenda?
Actually, what I was, yeah, exactly. Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for how much you guys do every day. It's incredible how many balls you have up in the air all the time with so few staff and limited resources. I say it all the time, but this meeting is just one more example. And like Carolyn, you work so closely with that lovely woman who's trying to start her own business to get all the paperwork in, and you do that with everyone. So just thank you. I see how much work you do, so just thank you. So what I was thinking we could do was just throw out some ideas for agenda items for next time, and that Carolyn and Laura, for you're not starting from scratch when you're creating an agenda for the next meeting. If there's a couple of things you can just add to it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if there's dangling items, and just throw it out there. Does that? It's not on the agenda, but I think it's okay to throw out items for future agenda items.
Well, I guess we could have an agenda item, future agenda items.
Yeah.
So what do you want me to put in future agenda items and we can bring it up at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Yes, that's such a good idea. And then you guys don't have to start from scratch every time.
Okay.
And part of it, honestly, is because I want to make sure I'm prepared for the meetings and I know what's going to be on the agenda, so I have time to.
But also, it wouldn't necessarily be definitely on because you don't know what your agenda is going to look like. Absolutely. But it's like possible spots if there's room on the agenda.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And it's up to you and Carolyn anyway. But yeah, absolutely.
Well, next time we can have that on.
So, can I say a couple of the items now?
I don't know. I mean, remember, I don't know.
What are they? I don't know because it's not on the agenda.
What did you say?
I don't know because it's not on the agenda. And I'm still under health department report. I think, why don't we talk about them at our future agenda items?
Future meeting date. Can we talk about it under future meeting date?
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Sorry. I didn't know you weren't finished. My apologies.
Do you want to set the next date? Is that what you're asking? Yeah. Does everybody want to look at their calendars?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me grab my phone. Yeah, I'm listening to my phone. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Let's see. So July?
Yeah. Is the 6th too close to the 4th? Maybe the 13th of July?
13th might be better. Does that work for you? Everyone else here?
Uh, I will be in transit. Wait, what's wrong with this Monday, a month from today, July 6th? What's wrong with that one?
Well, it's right after 4th of July, and many people take that week.
I'm here. Are you?
I'm not sure if I'm here yet. I might not be. How about the 20th? Is that running too late?
I don't think we have any other septics on the,
Nothing coming up.
nothing's coming up, so. The 20th? Does that look better? The 20th, Deborah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm available the 6th, but you're saying you think people might be away.
Yeah.
And the 13th, I am in transit. I'll be on my flight arrives, and I don't want to risk it that I would. In fact, I don't think I'd be home by 7.
Okay.
But
All right, so I'll reach out to Mary Stenson to see if July 20th works for her. How's that sound? You know.
And also, for some agenda items for next time, for the meeting on the 20th, I think, and I don't know if this is something that needs to be discussed, but I think that just for putting executives, going into executive session for residents who are coming for their homes getting condemned, I felt badly. She was crying, and her address was so public, and it's. I think executive session is a good way to protect resident privacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult because you don't know what's coming up. When it gets emotional sometimes when you don't expect it to. So you don't have a chance to go into executive session.
Well, we can talk about it next time, because I think it just should be a standard practice.
Yeah.
If we have somebody who's coming, we could talk about it. Yeah. And then also to talk about renter reallocation assistance, which I looked up. I know tonight, I don't really know what, it would be good to talk about kind of what services and support and protocol and what's in place in terms of practices for people who are getting condemned. And we could talk more about that, because I know, Caroline, you have a lot of information about it.
Okay.
And again, I know you don't necessarily have to put it on the agenda, but this is what I was hoping that we could follow up with. And then also to talk about the camps, the opioid camp scholarships. And then also to talk about a possible retreat to sort of, I noticed I noticed when I was watching Select Board and Planning Board that they do like an annual, Select Board does a retreat where they just spend a few hours, or they set aside some time. It's not recorded, it's informal, and just think about goals for the year. Planning Board did it during their meeting the other day, where they talked about things they wanted to accomplish, and I thought that would be kind of a fun idea to talk about. And we don't have to, just to talk about retreat, a potential. We could do it during a meeting, we could do it offline. So just wanted
I don't think we could do it offline. I think that would be going against public meeting laws, wouldn't it?
No, the retreat has an exemption in the recording bylaw if it's a retreat.
I think there has to be minutes from the retreat, though.
Yeah,
but wouldn't it still be a public meeting?
Yes, but we can talk about it. It could be recorded too. It doesn't matter.
Next time.
But it's the concept of doing a goals for the year. What do we want to accomplish? Revisit the CHIP, the Community Health Improvement plan, what do we need, that kind of thing. What does the health department need? What kind of resources, that kind of thing. So yeah, just some ideas to talk about for next time. And I learned a lot this time, obviously, with the condemnations and the cease and desist and all of that. So thank you for explaining everything to me, Caroline. I appreciate it. Or earlier.
No problem.
Okay,
All right, are we ready to adjourn, board?
I think so.
Make a motion. What time is it now? It's like 9:03.
9:03.
Okay. 9:03. Do you want to make a
Thank
motion?
you.
I
To
move
adjourn?
we adjourn.
Yeah, at 9:03.
Second
Okay.
that.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good night.
Good night.